I'm Jacques from Hobie, and this is a quick start video for Pro Angler Series Mirage kayaks. We're going to cover the basics on the features of the kayak to get you out on the water for your first time. So all Pro Angler kayaks ship complete. They come with the MirageDrive, a paddle, your seat back, and some other essentials that make your boat complete. You'll receive an owner's packet. In the packet, you'll have your owner's manual. You're going to want to read that front to back, get familiar with all the features of your kayak. There'll be a warranty registration card, even a parts and accessories catalog, which will have things like fish finders and accessories to outfit your boat and personalize it to your liking. If you've bought your boat secondhand and you don't have the paperwork, it all is available online, free downloads at hobiecat.com. Check the product support page. And a couple other things that are going to come with the kayak. You'll receive these grommets here. These are for installing your fish finder. All Pro Anglers have a Lowrance Ready feature, and these are just going to more easily allow you to install your fish finders. You're also going to get steering handles. There's going to be a main steering handle and an accessory handle, and you can decide which side of the boat you want to put that on, right or left, or you can purchase a second one and have dual steering, and that's all complete with the boat. So here you'll see the items that come in the steering package. You'll have your steering handle, your secondary handle, and then the screws to attach them. These little decals just cover the screw when you're done with the installation. I'm going to put the steering handle on the left side of the boat. That's the way I like it. I'm right-handed, but I like to steer with my left. And I'll just snug this up. I like to use a little bit of blue Loctite on this screw. That'll keep it from backing out. And again, this is removable. You can take this off and put a second steering handle so you can have dual steering if you'd like. And now we'll just install the decal like such. So on the bottom of the handle, you'll notice there's a groove here that's going to line up with that pin, and you'll feel it in place. You want to have the handle facing forward when the rudder is up. And I'm just going to go ahead and install this screw. Again, this will just be a one-time only installation. Once your steering handle is on the kayak, you're not going to have to remove it. So in the cockpit of your Pro Angler, you're going to have a rudder up control. When you uncleat this line and you let it go into the boat, that lets the rudder go down. Now you've got rudder steering left and right. When you hit the beach, you'll want to pull that up and keep it in the cleat, and that way your rudder is protected up inside the hull. So one thing you'll notice about Pro Angler steering is that we've got a BOA system here, and that helps in the tensioning of the lines. Always want to have that clicked in. It unlocks by pulling it, and it locks by pushing it in, and you tension it as you hear those clicks, and that'll allow you to fine-tune the steering to your personal preference. And you don't want to over tighten it, but you also don't want to have it unlocked, because that'll make the steering very loose, and you'll prefer to have it locked and tensioned at your preference. Another control in your cockpit is going to be the skeg. Right here, if you uncleat this and let the line go into the hull, that deploys your skeg. That's going to allow you to track nice and straight. If you want more maneuverability and be able to turn on a dime, you'll pull that up. And again, on a Tandem Pro Angler, there'll be 2 of these. Now we're going to install the seat. This is the Vantage chair. This is one of the best features of the Pro Angler series kayaks. They're really comfortable. The way you install that in the kayak is you just put it in the front mounts by leaning it forward. And once it comes into place here, it's going to rest on the kickstand. The kickstand is designed to help you go in a high position for more comfortable seating. And the way you attach the seat is you take the strap that's here mounted in the kayak and you place it over the pin that's on the back part of the frame, and you bungee this clip in place, which holds the seat into the kayak. In the event of a capsize, you won't lose your seat over the side of the boat. So all Pro Angler kayaks have Vantage chairs, and they are adjustable for a high position and a low position. 12s and 14s default to the high position, and the way you go to the low position is to pull the kickstand lever here in the cockpit to pull back on the kickstand, and now your chair will go down. To go back to the high position, you just lean forward and it automatically goes into the high position. The other way that you adjust the chair is the seat back here. You turn the barrel and it comes forward. If you want the seat back to recline, you push forward and you turn it the other way, and that reclines it. There's instructions on the hand grips right here. on both sides. Here's how you adjust the seat bottom. This is going to raise it or lower it. And lastly, on the back, you have your lumbar support, which is another BOA system that you see here. If you want less lumbar, you open that up. And if you want the lumbar to be tightened, you tighten it that way. The vantage chairs on the Pro Angler 17 Tandem work a little differently. The kickstand control is on the seat bottom. You'll just pull this lever, which will raise the kickstand and allow the seat to go into the low position. When you want to go to the high position, you just unweight the seat slightly by moving forward, and it'll raise back up. Your Pro Angler kayak ships with the MirageDrive partially assembled. You're going to have to install your crank arms. There's a left and a right. They are marked on the back side of the pedal. This is how they should look to you. And you're just going to take a 9/16 socket or a wrench. If you're in Australia or Europe, you'll be using a 15mm. And this is the way you install the crank arm. You'll take it and put it into the slot on the drum. You'll pull the handle here and get it adjusted to where it's in one of the holes. And now you'll be all ready to install your bolt. And it's just going to be threading right into the drum here. When you get the bolt all the way in, you'll want to just see a slight gap there when you take your last crank. Don't over tighten that, because what you want to have happen is this adjuster arm to be able to move freely. So it's very important that you don't over tighten this bolt so that you get the adjustability in the crank arm and that runs smoothly. So we're ready to install the MirageDrive now. You'll see that the fin has a rigid edge in the front and the back of the fin is flexible, so that's how you know which direction to put it in the drive well. If you're in the water, this will just drop straight in place. If you're on the beach, you'll want to have the boat over on its side so you can fit these in. The way this unlocks is just pulling these two levers back and the drive comes right out. Real simple. It automatically locks when you put it down. When you hear those click, it's locked. It won't come out. And you can do your adjustment here. So if you're a taller guy, you can go forward. If you're a kid or somebody who's shorter like me, I prefer them on about number 3. And lastly, you'll just keep one pedal back. And when you do that, you can attach this bungee that's in the cockpit, and that keeps the fins up against the bottom of the boat so you can be right up on the sand. A unique aspect of the Pro Angler 17 Tandem is how you can change the seating configurations. You can use it as a traditional tandem kayak where both seats are facing the same direction. You can move one chair into the center and use it as a single Pro Angler. And you can also reverse the front vantage chair so that that person is sitting in what we call social mode, so you're looking at each other. And you can install the MirageDrive into this well. You'll notice that on the Tandem Pro Angler we have double idler pulleys so that it can be pedaled from either direction. And you'll install that. And lastly, the pedals on the Pro Angler 17 MirageDrives are square so that they can be pedaled from either direction. You can remove the straps and get those set up to where you can pedal them from the front or the rear and adjust that just by disconnecting the bungee and installing it into the other slot here that you see, like so. All Hobie Pro Anglers come with a variety of hatches. They're all going to feature a large bow hatch that includes a hatch liner. And they just close with this bungee here. And the center hatch is this large rectangular hatch. You'll be using this a lot. You open it just by turning that handle. It pivots on a hinge here. It's got a nice seal. You've got your tackle management system that opens as you open the hatch to reveal your plano boxes. There's also an accessory gear bucket that you can drop down in place that's available. And you'll always want to keep those closed on the water. Running along both sides of your cockpit on the Pro Angler are H-rails, and your kayak's going to come with some rod racks and some other things that are also available from your dealer as an accessory. The way these work is they just clamp onto the bar like so. You put the knob under and then you'll tension it with the latch, and those are adjustable, and it's up to you to decide where you want to mount them along the side of your kayak. So your boat comes complete with a 2-piece paddle. I prefer to take this apart and only use half the paddle. What I'll do is I'll install the T-handle that comes with the kayak, and this will be useful when you're going to push off things or back up real quick. Most of the time you're going to be using your MirageDrive, and then you can just clip it in place into the provided paddle holder that's in the back of the cockpit. On the transom of the Pro Angler, you're going to find 2 drain plugs. You'll just want to keep those closed when you're on the water. This is where you'll be able to get water out of the hull if you need to. And you'll notice that they're mounted on these 2 skid plates. That's for more easily getting it up and onto a trailer or on your car. In the cargo area here, you're going to have some bungees to land you down. There's also accessories like your live well and such. There's molded in rod holders in the back. There's also the horizontal rod holders in front. And lastly, all of our kayaks are sit on top, so you'll find a variety of scuppers. Here in the back, you'll notice these scuppers have some inserts. Those are designed for your cart. There's also another set further forward. A cart is a great accessory. It's something that you'll want to have to get your boat down to the water. And that's our quick start video for Pro Angler Series Mirage kayaks. This was just covering the basics to get you out onto the water quickly. If you want to really get into the product and learn all the different accessories that you can add to the kayak, see our YouTube channel. We have many more videos that show the H-rail system in detail, that show the seat function in detail, different accessories, mounting the H-bar onto your kayak. So you'll want to look at our YouTube channel. Also, call your dealer, go to our website, hobiecat.com, click on the product support. You'll be able to find all types of information for all of our product. And lastly, get out on the water and have fun. We'll see you out there. Thanks for watching.